Hello friends, today we shall discuss on another important concept, that is heuristic method. Heuristic method is one of the familiar and important method in teaching science. Now let us know more detail about heuristic method. Friends, this heuristic method was for the first time coined by Dr. H.E. Armstrong, who is working as a professor of chemistry at City and Guild Institute, which is situated in Kensington. This method of teaching is of a very recent origin. First, it was used in science and it successfully to be adopted in the teaching of all other subjects in the school curriculum. And the important feature of this method is a pupil-centered method. And this method, heuristic method, here the word heuristic is derived from the Greek word known as heurisco. Meaning of this heurisco is one in which the pupils are left to find out the things for themselves. That means to discover or to find out. That means students or the pupils are forced to find out the things themselves. So here children are placed as far as possible in the position of discoverers. Okay, so here the students, remember, the students are placed themselves in the place of discoverers, and instead of being told the facts, here they are led to find out the things themselves. So this heuristic method is considered as pupil-centered method. The major role is performed by the pupils or by the students. Just here the teacher acts as a facilitator or guide. Okay. And next, the aim of this heuristic method is to develop the scientific attitude and spirit in pupils. So it follows the principles of scientific attitude, and it leads to spirit of inquiry which prompts the pupils to learn. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವೈಜ್ಞಾನಿಕ ಮನೋಭಾವದಲ್ಲಿ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳನ್ನ ಬೆಳೆಸುವುದು ಇದರ ಗುರಿಯಾಗಿದೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಹುಡುಕುವುದು, ಸತ್ಯ ಶೋಧನೆ ಮಾಡತಕ್ಕಂತ ಒಂದು ಉತ್ಸಾಹವನ್ನ ತುಂಬುತ್ತದೆ ಇದು. And also it can solve a problem by using his scientific attitude. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಪರಿಹಾರ ಕಂಡುಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ವೈಜ್ಞಾನಿಕ ಮನೋಭಾವದೊಂದಿಗೆ ಪರಿಹಾರವನ್ನ ಕಂಡುಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. Here the students will solve a problem by using their scientific attitude, and it acquires the knowledge about the new concept. The students will put forward to discover unknown concepts to the students, which is not known to the students. And here this method allows to students to think independently. Themselves they will think what they have to do, what they have to learn. So all these things happen in this heuristic method. And here it collects and analyzes the data for information. Okay, so these are some of the aims of heuristic method. And it is this heuristic method is laid on certain principles. Let us see which are those principles. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ತತ್ವಗಳ ಆಧಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಹ್ಯೂರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಕಾರ್ಯನಿರ್ವಹಿಸುತ್ತದೆ. ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಾವು ನೋಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಮುಖವಾಗಿ 5 ತತ್ವಗಳನ್ನು ನೋಡಬಹುದಾಗಿದೆ. So totally this heuristic method is based on 5 basic principles. One is principle of freedom. Here the students have freedom to do their work independently. So the first principle is principle of freedom. Then principle of logical thinking, principle of activity. So here the students will do many activities. So while doing an activity they will learn so many things. By that time it requires logical thinking. The students themselves think in different way. Then principle of self-thinking and self-study, that themselves they will think and themselves they will study. And principle of purposeful experience. So here, whatever the activities will be done by the students will be done purposefully, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾದಂತಹ ಅನುಭವವನ್ನ ಪಡಿಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಒಂದು ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಇದೆ, ಇದನ್ನ ಕಲಿಬೇಕು, ಇದನ್ನ ತಿಳ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ನಿರ್ದಿಷ್ಟ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಈ ಪ್ರಮುಖವಾಗಿ 5 ತತ್ವಗಳ ಆಧಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಹ್ಯೂರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅನಾವರಣಗೊಳಿಸಲಾಗಿದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಸಿ the definitions of this heuristic method. So according to the Professor Armstrong, who coined this method, according to him, he defined this heuristic method is a method of teaching which involves or placing the students as far as possible in the attitude of a discoverer. So here there is a spelling mistake, not O-U-R, or. So here this method of teaching involves or placing the students as far as possible in the attitude of discoverer. So because the students will find out a solution to a particular problem themselves, so the teacher placed the students in the attitude of a discoverer. Okay. And next, another definition that given by Westaway. So according to him, heuristic method is intended to provide a training in method. Knowledge is a secondary consideration altogether. That means basically what the experiences will drawn by doing an activity. So based on the experience, the learning will take place effectively. So this is the intention of this method. As much as possible, the students has to get the experiences. So here the students are placed in the position of discoverers, so which involve their finding instead of being merely told about the things. So this 2 statements speaks very clearly that telling is in no teaching. That means here the teacher doesn't deliver anything in the form of an explanation or teaching. Just he will show a route to learn something. So the heuristic method tends to set the learner himself on the track of invention and direct him to in the paths in which the author has made his own discoveries. So totally we can in one word we can say that the students will learn by doing. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾ ಕಲಿಯುವ ವಿಧಾನ ಇದು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಾ ಹೇಳಬಹುದಾಗಿದೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳನ್ನ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾದಷ್ಟು ಆವಿಷ್ಕಾರರ ಸ್ಥಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಿಸುವುದನ್ನ ಇದು ಒಳಗೊಂಡಿದೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೇವಲ ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನ ಹೇಳುವ ಬದಲು ಕಂಡು ಹಿಡಿಯುವ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ ಸ್ವತಃ ವಿಷಯವನ್ನ ಅಥವಾ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗೆ ಪರಿಹಾರವನ್ನ ಕಂಡು ಹಿಡಿತಕ್ಕಂತ ವಿಧಾನಗಳನ್ನ ಇದು ಒಳಗೊಂಡಿದೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೇವಲ ಇದು ಬೋಧನೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವತಃ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಯೇ ಒಂದು ಆವಿಷ್ಕಾರದ ಆದಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನ ಕಲಿಕೆಯನ್ನ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗುತ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, so this is about the definition of this heuristic method. Let us see the objectives of heuristic strategy or heuristic method. So some of the objectives which we can see here, in that the first one is to develop among students the ability of self-learning. So here the students will do lot of things themselves so that they will develop an ability of self-learning, which is very essential for effective learning. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಯಂ ಕಲಿಕೆ ಸಾಮರ್ಥ್ಯವನ್ನು ಬೆಳೆಸ್ತದೆ. ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಅನ್ ಅಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ ಟು ಲರ್ನ್ ದೆಮ್ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಇಫ್ ವಿ ಫಾಲೋ ದ ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಡಾಗ್ಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್ ಮೆಥಡ್, ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ it doesn't lead to self-learning. So self-learning is very effective, as we already know. So this method provides an opportunity for students to develop the ability of self-learning. Okay. And next objective is to develop among students the ability of critical thinking. So thinking is very essential. So if the students want to do certain thing, they have to think themselves. They have to think in different ways, so that this method develops an ability of critical thinking. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಮರ್ಶಾತ್ಮಕ ಚಿಂತನೆಯ ಸಾಮರ್ಥ್ಯವನ್ನ ಬೆಳೆಸುತ್ತದೆ ಅಥವಾ ಬೆಳೆಸುವುದು ಇದರ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಯಾಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಸ್ವತಃ ಒಂದು ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಯನ್ನ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅವರು ವಿವಿಧ ಆಯಾಮಗಳಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಯನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗೆ ಪರಿಹಾರ ಕಂಡುಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ವಿವಿಧ ಆಯಾಮಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ವಿವಿಧ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಕೋನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಆಲೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅವರು ಸ್ವತಃ ಒಂದು ವಿಮರ್ಶಾತ್ಮಕ ಚಿಂತನೆಯನ್ನ ಬೆಳೆಸುವ ಸಾಮರ್ಥ್ಯವನ್ನ ಇದು ಹೊಂದಿದೆ. ದೆನ್ ಟು ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಅಮಾಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಆಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್. In the second objective, it will the ability, and second one, attitude of logical thinking. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತಾರ್ಕಿಕ ಚಿಂತನೆಯ ಮನೋಭಾವವನ್ನು ಇದು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಹೊಂದಿದೆ. ಸೊ attitude is also very essential. If they have positive attitude to learn themselves, definitely they will think logically. What is correct, what is wrong, what is right, what they have to do, what they should not do. All this come under this logical thinking. So this attitude will be developed through this heuristic method. And next, to develop among students the attitude of accepting truth only after verification. It is not that I am a teacher, what I will say the students has to follow. No, it is not like that. So here the students may not accept whatever the teacher, whatever the things which is told by a teacher. Only after verification, if there is truth, then they will accept. So this is this type of attitude can be inculcated through this heuristic method. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪರಿಶೀಲನೆಯ ನಂತರವೇ ಸತ್ಯವನ್ನ ಸ್ವೀಕರಿಸತಕ್ಕಂತ ಒಂದು ಮನೋಭಾವವನ್ನ ಇದು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆಸುತ್ತದೆ. Then to develop among students the attitude of not accepting things based on blind faith. So just it is related to the previous objective. Here the students will accept everything after verification. Only they will accept the truth. Okay, then here it doesn't, the students may not accept just based on blind faith. Oh, someone told that, yes, it is correct. No, it is not like that. Only after search themselves they will accept. Okay, then to develop among students the scientific thinking. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ವೈಜ್ಞಾನಿಕ ಚಿಂತನೆಯನ್ನ ಬೆಳೆಸುವುದು ಇದರ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಆಗಿದೆ. Okay, so these are some of the objectives of this one. Next, let us see the procedure, how this works. So first here the problem is given to the students, and the teacher will give instructions related to the problem which is provided to the students, and later the students will try to solve the problem step by step. Let us later see which are those steps. And next, the students while following steps, different steps, they will note on observations. Whatever the activities which are conducted by the students, whatever they will observe, note down all those observations. And after observing certain things, they will come to a conclusion. That means they make conclusion based on their observations. Okay, next let us see the steps. The first step is planning. Here what the students will do in this step, first they will create objectives. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಒಂದು ಯೋಜನೆಯನ್ನ ಏನ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಆ ಯೋಜನೆಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತಹ ಉದ್ದೇಶಗಳನ್ನ ರಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಟು find out a solution to particular problem, first they will create an objectives with the help of a teacher, and next they will identify a problem. What is problem? So without identification of problem, they may not lead properly or they may not go ahead. So it is very essential that first the students has to understand what is the problem. So next the students will identify the problem, and next the students will arrive for appropriate solutions for the problem. Okay, so related to these three things, the students has to plan. So this is the first and important thing. Okay, ಸೊ ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ಉದ್ದೇಶಗಳನ್ನು ರಚನೆ ಮಾಡತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು, ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಯನ್ನ ಗುರುತಿಸುವುದು, ಏನು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಇದೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಆ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗೆ ಪರಿಹಾರ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವ ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಪರಿಹಾರಗಳಿದೆ, ಯಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾರ್ಗಗಳಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಯೋಜನೆಯನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಈಸ್ ನೋನ್ ಆಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಷನ್, nothing but implementation. So based on the planning or with the help of a planning, whatever they have planned, that will be executed. So here what they will do, first they will pursue and observe for accurate result, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾರ್ಯಗತಗೊಳಿಸಿ, ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟಿಂಗ್. ಓಕೆ, ನಿಖರವಾದಂತಹ ಫಲಿತಾಂಶವನ್ನ ಪಡೆಯಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಥವಾ ಗ್ರಹಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಥವಾ ಗಮನಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವರು ಕಾರ್ಯೋನ್ಮುಖರಾಗ್ತಾರೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ಡ್, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗಮನಿಸತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಫಲಿತಾಂಶವನ್ನು ಅವರು ಗುರುತಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ದೋಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡೆಡ್ after execution of their plan. And next, last step is known as conclusion. So here what the students will do in this step, first they will formulate hypothesis. ಓಕೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಊಹೆಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದು ಹೀಗ, ನಾವು ಹೀಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿಂದ ಹೀಗಾಯ್ತು, ಹೀಗಾಗಿದ್ರಿಂದ ಹೀಗೆಲ್ಲ ಆಯ್ತು, ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಟ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ responsible for this. Okay, and next they will identify the accurate solution, or they will come to, or they will arrive towards the accurate solution. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಊಹೆಯನ್ನ ಏನು ಸೂತ್ರೀಕರಣ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಪರಿಹಾರ ಇದೆ ಆ ಪರಿಹಾರವನ್ನ ಗುರುತಿಸ್ತಾರೆ, ಅಥವಾ ನಿಖರವಾದಂತಹ ಪರಿಹಾರದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಅವರು ತಲುಪ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಈ ಒಂದು ಹ್ಯೂರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ವಿಧಾನವನ್ನ ಅಳವಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ವೇ ದ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಫಾಲೋ ದಿಸ್ ಹ್ಯೂರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಮೆಥಡ್. ಅಂಡ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಲೆಟ್ us see the merits of heuristic method. So let us see some of the merits of this heuristic method. First, it develops the habit of inquiry and investigation among students. So it develops a habit because the students will do themselves. The students will do many activities themselves to find out a solution, so that it will develop a habit of inquiry and investigation among students. It is not that whatever the things told by teacher is accepted. First the students will inquire and investigate, then they will accept the things which is told by the teacher. And it also develops the habit of self learning and self direction. The students themselves, they will learn. Okay, and ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಸ್ವಯಂ ಕಲಿಕೆ ಮತ್ತು ಸ್ವಯಂ ದಿಕ್ಕಿನ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸವನ್ನ ಇದು ಬೆಳೆಸ್ತದೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇದು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ವೈಜ್ಞಾನಿಕ ಮನೋಭಾವವನ್ನು ಬೆಳೆಸುತ್ತದೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಜವಾದ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಹಲವಾರು ಪ್ರಯೋಗಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರ ಮೂಲಕ ನಿರ್ಧಾರಗಳನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ತಲುಪಬೇಕು ಎಂಬುದನ್ನ ಇದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲಿಸುತ್ತದೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ scientific attitudes among themselves. Okay, so that they will come to, or they will arrive at decision by actual experimentation. So we can say that it is psychologically sound system of learning as it is based on the maximum learning by doing principle. So ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾ ಕಲಿ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ತತ್ವದ ಮೇಲೆ ಇದು ಆಧಾರಿತವಾಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇದು ವೈಜ್ಞಾನಿಕವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಇದು ಒಂದು ಬಲವಾದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಲಿಕೆಗೆ ಕಡೆಗೆ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಬಲವಾದಂತ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ತಪ್ಪಾಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ. Then it develops in the student a habit of diligence. Okay. Then in this method most of the work is done in school, and so the teacher has no worry to assign on check home task. It provides scope for individual attention to be paid by the establishing cordial relation between the teacher and the thought. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹ್ಯಾಬಿಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಿಲಿಜೆನ್ಸಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಶ್ರದ್ಧೆಯ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸವನ್ನು, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಏನೇ ಮಾಡಲಿ ಶ್ರದ್ಧೆಯಿಂದ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಡೂ ದ ವರ್ಕ್ ವಿತ್ ಡಿಲಿಜೆನ್ಸಿ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಕಲಿ they will do the things, wholeheartedly do the things. So it is very essential. We have to develop. The students has to learn wholeheartedly. Okay. Then ಈ ಒಂದು ವಿಧಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಶಾಲೆಯಲ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡಲಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಮೆಜಾರಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ವರ್ಕ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಡನ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಅಲೋಸ್ ದ ಟೀಚರ್ ಟು ಚೆಕ್ the students work in the school itself. No need to worry about the home task. Okay. And also it provides much scope for individual attention, so that there will be a establishment of cordial relation between the teacher and the thought. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರ ನಡುವೆ ಒಂದು ಉತ್ತಮವಾದಂತಹ ಬಾಂಧವ್ಯವನ್ನ ಇದು ಬೆಳೆಸ್ತದೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾರ್ಯ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಕೇವಲ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ ಒಬ್ಬನೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಾನೆ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ದಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ದ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಡೂ ದಿಸ್ method. The teacher has to monitor what the students are doing, so that always there will be a exchange of words or the exchange of ideas between the teacher and the student. Okay. So these are the some of the merits of this heuristic method. And next let us see a few limitations of this heuristic method. First of all, it is a long and time consuming method, so it becomes difficult to cover the prescribed syllabus in time. That means for all the concepts it cannot be allowed to follow the principle of heuristic method. For certain concepts it is not possible, so it is very difficult to cover all the syllabus because it is time consuming. Okay. And it presupposes a very small class and a gifted teacher, and the method is too technical and scientific to be handled by an average teacher. That means it should be very effective when the size of a class is very small, because the teacher has to guide to every student, and the teacher has to monitor the work of the students. It is, if the size is large, it is very difficult to a teacher. Only the gifted teacher can handle. The teacher should also have an idea, or the teacher should also have a knowledge regarding to the monitoring of all the activities of the students. And sometimes it is too technical and scientific to be handled by an average teacher. The average teacher cannot do this thing, or cannot implement successfully this method. And this method expects of the teacher a great efficiency and hard experience and training. That means the teacher who implementing this method, he should be very sound in his knowledge. He should have, or he should possess great efficiency in experience, in providing experience and giving training to the students. By that time, if the teacher is lack in his efficiency, then this method cannot be implemented successfully, and it is not suitable for beginners. Okay. So in the early stages, the students need enough guidance which is not given may greatly disappoint them, and it is possible that the child may develop distaste for his studies. Sometimes it happens. So especially in the beginners require more guidance or more help from the teacher. If for the beginners, if the teacher may not give enough guidance, definitely disappoint the students and leads to disinterest in his studies. Okay. And next, evaluation of learning through heuristic method can be quite tedious. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ವಿಧಾನದಿಂದ ಇದು ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಟೈಮ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಬೇಸರ ತರ್ತದೆ. ಎಲ್ಲರದು ಇವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಟ್, ಎಲ್ಲರದು ಮೌಲ್ಯಮಾಪನ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಕಷ್ಟವನ್ನ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರಿಗೆ ತರ್ತದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ವಿಧಾನದ ಮೂಲಕ ಮೌಲ್ಯಮಾಪನ ಮಾಡೋದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಷ್ಟ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಟು ಇವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಟ್. Next, presently enough teachers are not available for implementing learning by heuristic method. That means many of the teachers or few teachers may not upgrade it, because first of all, if the teacher want to implement this method, he should possess the knowledge. He should be enriched his knowledge. If the teacher is lack in with this aspect, definitely it is very difficult. So these are some of the demerits of this, few demerits of heuristic method. In spite of many merits and demerits, we can conclude that by heuristic approach we mean that students be not spoon-fed or be given a dictation, rather than be given opportunities to investigate, to think and work independently along with the traditional way of teaching. That means we can say that it is not that we should reduce the traditional way of teaching. By side by side along with the traditional way of teaching, we should provide an opportunity for the students to investigate themselves, and we should provide an opportunity to think themselves, and we should provide an opportunity to work independently. Definitely, then only we can say that definitely the learning will be very effective. Okay, that's it for today's video presentation. Thank you. Hope you have understood the concept. So these are if you have any doubts, you can contact me through these sources. Thank you very much.